Hello there. A couple of weeks back I put up a couple of videos about my new Fitcamx 4K dash cam. So I've previously done an unboxing video for this camera and an installation video showing how it fits into my ID bus. In this video I'm just going to look a bit more at the specs of the camera and then put up some footage so you can see how it looks. Fitcamx do plug and play dash cams for a variety of different manufacturers. In fact, I previously had one of these in my Audi Q4 e-tron. They are available on Amazon, and in fact I'll put a link to both Amazon and to the Fitcamx website in the description so you can go and have a look. And on the website you'll see a variety of different manufacturers and they all work pretty much the same way. So normally the camera replaces a piece of trim up near the rear view mirror. It looks OEM because it fits in a nice integrated way, and it generally plugs in to the rain sensor or some wiring that's already up there. It's well worth going to have a look at their website because they do have blog posts and videos on how to fit, etc. As I said, I have got a how to fit video for both the Audi version and the ID Buzz version. In the Q4 e-tron, the Fitcamx replaced the piece of trim that went round the mounting for the rear view mirror. So the camera mounting was moulded to replace the piece of trim and it fitted all the original clip points. In the ID Buzz, it's a bit more straightforward. The rear view mirror is much further back in the car, so it replaces this piece of trim where the USB-C port is, right at the windscreen. Looking on the website for the ID Buzz camera, you'll see there are two versions available. There's a grey version for the lighter trim colour for the roof, and there's a black version for GTX models like mine and similar. I've gone for the 4K front camera, but there are two different resolutions of front camera, and in addition you can get a rear HD camera as well. If required, there's also the option of a polarising lens for both the front and the rear camera. It is a proper plug and play system. In the ID Buzz, you unplug the rain sensor, use the power supply for the rain sensor to plug the camera in, and then the rain sensor plugs into the camera, so it's still powered. There are a couple of options for downloading your footage from the camera. You can connect to it via Wi-Fi using the app on your phone, which is available on Android or Apple, or you can remove the micro SD card and use a little card reader that comes with it. I just plug it directly into your PC or laptop. The recordings are done at 4K 30 frames a second, and it does loop recording. It will fill up the SD card, or micro SD card, sorry, and then we'll start rewriting the footage from the start again. The angle on the front camera is 160 degrees, which when you see the footage you'll see it's pretty decent. And there's no other external wiring, it just plugs into the rain sensor. You do have to hardwire in the rear camera if you take that option though. Memory card size goes up to 256 gigabytes, although mine came with a 64 gigabyte micro SD card. Again, I've done two installation videos now for Fitcamx, and I've got two unboxing videos if you want to see exactly what came in the box. Looking at the black ID Buzz camera, which is the one for my GTX model. As you can see, it's moulded to match the piece of trim that I'm going to remove. The camera sits lower on the front. There's a slot there for the USB-C power to still be there. Card slot on the side. Power button and a take a picture button on the bottom there. And then there's a Y cable which plugs into the rain sensor power supply, and then the rain sensor plugs into the other port. Those three clips are what hold it in place. they match up with the original piece of trim. Fitted in the ID buzz, it looks like this. So it sits down below that where that piece of trim was. There's still a USB-C port on the side. And from the driver's seat, it's tucked up nice and high. Although you can see it while you're driving, it's right up at the edge of the swept area for the windscreen wipers. So it's not going to impede your vision. And because it's in the ID buzz and the windscreen's quite high up anyway, you do get quite a good view from up there when you look at the footage. So here's someone who didn't notice my ID buzz with the indicator flashing. Nice high view, you can see over the top, so quite a lot of cars. And it's good for capturing these weird little moments. When I put up footage from the Q4, people wondered what it'd be like when you zoomed in. What's the quality like? So I've just picked a little clip here. I was sitting at a set of roadworks, waiting for the lights to change, and then once the lights change, we progress through the lights. But when you zoom in like that, the level of detail is pretty good. It's certainly good enough to read the number plate of the car in front, and the one who came through the red lights and is now having to embarrassingly try and get over to the side so we can all get by. Good work, my man, good work. I picked another example here. This car's pulled up on the inside lane and popped the indicator on after they've stopped, but this is right at the edge of the camera's wide angle, but you can zoom in and you can still read the number plate even though it's right at the edge of the lens. And if you're playing along at home and you want to guess what they're doing, I thought they were coming into my lane even though they could keep going straight ahead, but actually they were turning right. Moving on into the darkness, I've picked a couple of bits of footage so you can see what it's like on dark roads. One thing to note here is the car has matrix LED lights, so the lights do follow around the corners and sections of the lights do go on and off. But this will give you an idea how clear the footage is. When we go around this corner, you'll see the matrix LED lights will pick up the car that's coming the other way, and the lights will go a bit dimmer. You can see the camera copes well with the oncoming headlights. One more zoomed in one. So you can read the number plate on this pickup truck just before it decides to go a different way. Here's the original footage from that. The only caveat with driving at night is, depending on how bright your headlights are and the angle of the registration number, sometimes it's hard to read because the reflections are so great when the headlights are really bright. As you can see, it copes well with going from a streetlight area onto a dark section, oncoming headlights, no problem. Finally, just to make sure that it is in the swept area, I've tried to get some footage here. We had a fantastic summer in Scotland, and then all of a sudden, last week we had some torrential rain. So the camera sits just at the very top of the swept area with the lens pointing down into the swept area. Overall then, once again, really pleased with the quality of the footage that's coming from the camera, how easy it was to fit, how much you forget it's there when you're driving normally, and how easy it is to get the footage off it when you need to. Okay, that's all I've got for you in this video. Remember to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.